My neighbor complained to the HOA that my trash cans were an eyesore. 2 weeks later, I bought her house at auction. Here's what happened. I live in one of those neighborhoods where the HOA notices if your grass is half an inch too long. You know the type. Beige houses, perfectly trimmed hedges, and at least 3 retired people with nothing better to do than measure lawn heights with rulers. My neighbor Karen had been on the HOA board for 8 years and took her role very seriously. She was the kind of person who'd knock on your door at 7 in the morning to inform you that your holiday decorations were up 2 days past the approved removal date. Last month, she filed a formal complaint because my trash cans were visible from the street on non-collection days. Never mind that everyone else does the same thing. Never mind that I work 60-hour weeks and sometimes forget to wheel them back immediately. Karen took photos, wrote a 3-page letter, and submitted it to the board with highlighted sections referencing specific bylaws. The HOA sent me a warning letter with a $200 fine attached. I moved the cans behind my fence that same evening and figured that was the end of it. I even texted Karen to let her know I'd handled it, hoping we could move past the whole thing. Then I got another letter 2 weeks later. Apparently my fence color wasn't approved, even though it matched 6 other fences on the block. The letter claimed it was weathered gray instead of approved colonial gray. I couldn't tell the difference. Neither could anyone else I showed. Another $200 fine, plus a demand that I repaint within 30 days. That's when I started asking around the neighborhood. Turns out I wasn't special. Karen had filed complaints against 4 other neighbors in the past year. Dave, 3 houses down, got fined for parking his work truck in his driveway overnight. Lisa across the street got cited for having a vegetable garden that was too visible from the road. All of them were people who'd had minor disagreements with Karen at some point. Dave had asked her to keep her dog from pooping in his yard. Lisa had complained about Karen's security light shining into her bedroom window at night. I'd politely declined to donate to her son's fundraiser 6 months ago because I didn't know the kid. Here's the thing though, I work in property law, not the exciting courtroom kind you see on TV, but the paperwork-heavy kind involving liens, titles, and foreclosures. Last year, I helped a client navigate a messy tax lien situation after his business partner disappeared with their accounting records. I spent months learning every detail of how the county handles delinquent properties. So when I noticed the county courthouse posting about an upcoming tax lien auction, I decided to check the list out of curiosity, maybe even find an investment property. I downloaded the spreadsheet one evening with a glass of wine, just browsing addresses. Guess whose address was on the list? Karen hadn't paid her property taxes in 2 years. According to public records, she'd received multiple notices, a certified letter, and a final warning. The county had placed a lien on her property for $28,000 in back taxes and penalties. Her house was scheduled for auction in 3 weeks. I sat there staring at my laptop screen for a solid 10 minutes. The starting bid was $15,000 for a house worth $340,000. Karen's house was one of the larger ones in the neighborhood. 4 bedrooms with a finished basement and a 2-car garage. I did some more digging. Her husband had passed away 5 years ago. She had a son in California who never visited. She drove a 10-year-old sedan and her lawn service had stopped coming around 8 months ago, which explained why her yard looked rougher lately. But none of that changed the fact that she'd spent the past year making my life and everyone else's miserable over trash cans and fence colors. I thought about it for 2 days, talked myself out of it, then back into it. Finally, I requested a cashier's check from my bank for $35,000. The auction was on a Tuesday morning at the courthouse. I took a half day off work and showed up in jeans and a hoodie, trying to blend in. The room was smaller than I expected, maybe 20 people total, most of them looking like professional investors with folders full of research. When Karen's property came up, 3 other bidders raised their paddles. One dropped out at $20,000, another at $27,000. The last one went to $31,000 before shaking his head. I raised my paddle one final time, $32,000. The auctioneer called it twice, no other bids, sold. The closing happened last week, and Karen got the eviction notice yesterday. She called me crying, begging for more time, and I reminded her about the trash can complaints.